Hey traders from around the world, what's going on? It's me, Jeremy Alexander Newsome with reallifetrading.com. Hope everyone's doing phenomenal. It is Valentine's Day, February the 14th. I am sure by now that you've seen, hopefully, some of my posts that I've been sending out for Valentine's Day regarding the stock market and, the fact that I will always be there to support you. Post a lot of those on social media. Hope you enjoyed. It's been fun. I like working for myself, so I don't have a boss that can fire me for doing, whatever I want. Shout out to my buddy Adrian Lee, who scored nicely on his Baidu trade that he had set up. He bought some longer term calls and sold some out of the money calls. These were in the money and these were 240s. We're gonna go look at Baidu. Someone told me that the market was up today. 1.5%, beautiful. What do I think's gonna happen from here? Well, we have 4 days in a row, nice 2-day pennant pattern. This is the breakout. Tomorrow, we more than likely gonna pull back and rest, maybe 2 to 3 days. I've been mentioning, I think we're gonna get something like this, some type of magnitude. I don't know how big this secondary rotation is gonna be. I truly don't. What would make the most sense is on a weekly chart, we get something like that where we trade a little bit higher, and this dip could be shallow. It doesn't have to be very big. All I'm saying is if and when that dip does come in, it will be a very viable event. Am I still saying that I think the market goes higher? Yeah, I am. Could this form a lower high and could we go lower? Absolutely, but the time to tell that is not yet. We still got a few more weeks and probably months before we figure out if this is really truly the top. I just don't think though. I don't think so. Here's the 200 simple, beautiful bounce off the 200. I'm pretty sure at some point someone said once, hashtag buy the salsa. So that's pretty much what the SPY is doing. And right now, I think we're just gonna keep going higher. So I had a trigger, if it was gonna close below 252.38, then sure, we'd have an idea that it might go a bit bearish. I think I could take that off right now. Had some put sales down here at 210. Myself, Dean Chance, and a few other traders were able to buy that one back today. Speaking of Dean the Chancellor, check out this trade that he posted in the morning day trading room that a few traders were able to hop on. This was Bungie, limited ticker symbol BG, and you'll notice you had some nice little bullish candles in here. Trade up, trade down, trade sideways, broke down, and crashed. Very good trade, Mr. Chance. Congratulations. I did not get a chance to take that trade. I was actually working on an interview with a real life trader, but it was a very pretty gap, right? Nice little inside day candle yesterday. Gap down. Huge bullish candle a few days ago, and you know that one's gonna likely retrace. So it was a good gap, good retest, good rollover. Congratulations, Mr. Dean Chance. Got some stocks that were requested today, and I'm feeling good about that. All right. So let's go check out some of the requests. Here's BZUN, and the BZUN, very nice breakout today. Solid little bullish candle. In fact, there is your new white soldier candle with a nice lower shadow, and I got a good little breakout today. So the interesting thing is this stock is still more bullish to neutral as we haven't made new highs yet. This is the weekly chart, and we're still in a distribution phase, but I know a lot of real life traders like Thomas and Justin Jeffrey and a few others have been trading this one. Here's some higher lows, here's a relative high, there's your consolidation, so we could keep chopping around in here, but if this thing breaks out, sky's the limit. I don't really see any real reason for the trend to stop, and as you're one of the very few permabulls out there on the internet that analyzes the stock market, it would make sense that BZUN just slowly and ever so quietly continues higher. Here's ticker symbol APO, and APO, Apollo Global Management. This was the weekly chart. And on Apollo, I would just say be cautious buying here because this was the previous all-time high. We've been here before, and it's safe to say that we interacted in a fashion that was semi-predictable. Trade up to a very nice resistance, and if you're looking at going long, which again makes sense, just try to buy as low as you can because this could be a 1, 2, 3, and then some kind of wave 4 consolidation where again we kind of chop around. I do think that will occur in the markets as nothing just goes straight up. When you get a nice little quick sell-off and then you get a quick sell-off, kind of like, I don't know, let's say this right here. Fast sell-off, right? You get a bounce, you get that secondary rotation at some point, and then like that higher move, even if it looks like this, right? So I'm still waiting for that kind of rollover secondary rotation, but a lot of traders, many traders are in bullish, and I would just say on APO, be careful because it's right there at that resistance. My girl Lori requesting GoPro, GPRO, and GoPro actually up today, 7%. Otherwise, the stock looks like a slip and slide at the Disney theme park. Strong bearish move lower. But what is interesting to note is here on the daily chart, the reason I like GoPro maybe going forward shorter term is you had a very nice high wave candle that at this point in time GoPro has been stuck in between. So you have a good support here and a good resistance right there and some lower highs coming in. So on GoPro, looks to me like it's going to form a little bit of a double bottom. This does appear that it's going to be a morning star reversal right there. So if you can get a close, I know the market closes in 5 minutes, but if we can get a close above this particular price, I think GoPro could easily pop out and fill this gap. That would make a lot of sense. Again, longer term, I don't see it having much legs, but short term, I do like it down here, and it is at a good support at this 52-week low. Here's NVIDIA, NVDA, and NVIDIA's up a little bit. We did get triggered into a swing trade on this one. I don't think you've missed it though if you're not in already. NVIDIA likely, strong chance, pulls back tomorrow with the market. A little bit of a dip, a little bit of a retest, and then a bounce. So if you're not in NVIDIA, I think you can probably look to catch a pullback on that one. But so far it looks good. That's an official swing trade. Goldman Sachs. So my good buddy Tad Bigland's just crushing Goldman Sachs yesterday. Very pretty breakout. Here was the analysis that I gave yesterday on Goldman Sachs. In fact, let me just roll the clip on that. Why talk about it in the present when I can talk about what I said yesterday? And this was a very popular one today. And a few people request Goldman Sachs. I must say I love it. Old time high, retest, retest, retest. 3 retests of the previous all-time high on Goldman Sachs. Daily chart. Looks good. You had a nice bullish gap and go yesterday, a little bit of a high wave candle, almost an inside A candle today, but not really. And here's the hourly. So my buddy Tad Biglands got in on the lower side of it today. So Tad, I like that trade. And kind of similar to the market, this is a nice stair step pattern. So if we hold through here and then break higher, I think that's an easy trade on Goldman Sachs up to 261. And there you have it, folks. That was my analysis on Goldman Sachs yesterday, and you'll notice it did have that stair-step pattern right there. There was the breakout. There's the trade. Looks pretty. Congratulations for anyone who played that, and that was in the afternoon swing trading room. I'm telling you guys, you're going to want to be in that. Alibaba up 4 1/4 today. Strong move. Brian Weber with a good put sale down here. I like BABA. My analysis on it has been still bullish to neutral, meaning I do think it goes higher unequivocally. This is a very pretty breakout. We likely will have a pullback on BABA tomorrow. I think most of the market pulls back a little bit tomorrow, mostly because strong bullish days only last so long before you get some kind of retest. So on BABA, I think that would make sense for a little bit of a pullback and then a thrust higher. Here's Square. So Square, ticker symbol SQ, not really participating in the bullish party today. A little bit of an inside day candle, which makes sense. I just mentioned big bullish days usually are followed by some kind of rest. What's happening on Square is the lesser, well, not the lesser of two evils, the greater of two evils. I came up with a plan not too long ago on what I thought Square would do, and let me just kind of pull that up really quick. Bow, bow, bow. Ticker symbol SQ. Pulling up the charts. Looking at my analysis. This is February 1st. So we've been 2 weeks since this particular approach. But my thoughts on Square from here, and again, I'm never exactly perfectly spot on, but this is close. I thought this was worst case and best case. So far, we've seemed to have been following worst case scenario, which is the purple line. Again, I'm not too far off on that drawing. So we did trade right down to the 100. I do think we're going to continue to chop around and then eventually break higher. That's pretty much what this analysis right here is saying. So if you have Square, I think it's just a good one to kind of keep holding. If you did not get in off that 100, I mean, seems kind of obvious. Michael Ward, I know, is in the trade on Square, so congrats, buddy. If we can break above the high of this Maribozu candle right there tomorrow and or Friday, then again, I think we could trade back up to this top level, or again, we could continue to roll over. But my buddy Victor Gonzalez has a put sale on Square expiring at $39 this Friday. Friday. Here's First Solar, which I'm also going to look at in Energy Wednesday here in the next hour. First Solar up 1.6%. I did not get into this trade yesterday, unfortunately, because earnings were right around the corner. I said yesterday. Phenomenal. Wow, look at this Morningstar reversal right there. Oh my gosh. Very pretty Morningstar off the 100, no less. Incredible. Entry would have been right there. Stop would have been, and it depends on your aggressive level, but either below that wick or below the 100. Either way, nice pop on First Solar. Energy Wednesday is coming up soon, but earnings is also around the corner. Next short-term target, probably the neckline of this weird pattern. Right, so you might pull back a little bit on First Solar and continue higher, but as of right now, looks pretty juicy. My good buddy Brian Montgomery looking at Alcoa, which is up 2.25 today, 2.5. Alcoa looks like we're going to close above this, and again, that looks pretty strong to me. I would expect and anticipate a little bit of a pullback and then a bounce off of that, but of course, I'm going to have to pull up my Alcoa chart because I had one trader out there, which is fine, I won't name names, but he called me an insane maniac for thinking that Alcoa would do something like this. This was my thoughts back on January the 18th. Hey, I'm just here to try to save some people money. More or less mentioning that was a bearish gap and go. This was a bullish retest, and likely we would trade down into the 100 before we start bouncing. Well, I was off by about a week, not too bad. So the gentleman who called me maniac, I am a maniac, absolutely. A maniac for enriching lives. That's Alcoa. Next on the list, we got ourselves request for FAF. Is that the ticker? Yeah, I didn't know this was a stock. Okay, learning something new every day. FAF, First American Corporation. Beautiful bounce off the 100. Most stocks did have a great bounce off of those. Here's the weekly chart. Again, really high. These stocks, I mean, this drop, I really, truly do not think this does this. If that happens, we will have a much larger crash sometime in 2019, 2020. If we just immediately break these highs, it's not healthy. It would make a lot of sense for us to do something like this just to trap some folks, trap some people who go bullish, and then trap some people who go bearish, just making sure everyone's trapped. I think that stocks that are just in these all-time high levels like FAF, if you're looking at buying it, that's absolutely fine. Really, the day to buy was last week on Friday as it pulled back into the 100s. At this level, on most stocks, if you're not already in, you're probably missing the boat. Look for a little bit of a pullback, look for another dip sometime in the next few days to weeks. And if and when that dip occurs, I mean, start planning it right now, should look pretty good. Morgan Stanley, ticker symbol MS, same thing. Bouncing off the 100 simple moving average. This analysis, though, was a little too easy. 52.18 was just an old resistance, right? Old resistance on Morgan Stanley. So what happened is this stock just broke out. You had a short-term retest right here of that old resistance, new support. And look at this bullish gap and go. If I do want to just zoom in here for a second, I mean, these gaps right here are so good. Trade higher, huge crash, we all know that happened. Nice candle, you got a bullish gap and go on Monday, inside day candle yesterday, nice little breakout today. Things are looking good. And last but not least for the request was TEX, Terex Corporation. And this one actually is retesting. We had earnings recently, so this was on earnings. Nice lower shadow off of the 200. So this looks kind of buyable. Here's the hourly time frame, and if I were looking at buying this trade, which I'm not, I don't have any position in TX, but I would say a break or a close above that hourly resistance right there with a stop below 39.64 makes sense to me. Again, here's the daily chart, and we on earnings. I haven't looked at the earnings. Let's see, earnings and revenues top estimates up year to year. So it looks good. So anyway, we had a little bit of a lower low right here, probably some kind of divergence. You had the 200 simple moving average on the daily. So if you're looking at playing it bullish, this is probably at least the general idea and time frame of which you'd want to do that. My friends from around the world, enjoy your February 14th. Hope you have an absolute fantastical Wednesday, and we will be back for more on Friday. Give me those requests so that I can look at the stocks that you want me to look at. You guys rock. Until next time. Love life, live life, and trade it. Bye.